Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for those of you who have stayed or those of you who have tuned in for this talk on Fintech Recruits. This is going to be a panel about Finologee. My name is Jess, I'm a journalist for Silicon Luxembourg. Now, to help you guys discover the many rewarding career opportunities that are out there in Luxembourg, over the next 20 minutes, you're going to be hearing from 3 employees at the payments startup Finologee. And it's actually a scale-up now, which celebrated its 5th anniversary this year. But before we go into the talks, I just want to do a very quick survey with you guys. By show of hands, how many of you today used your phone to pay for your travel or your lunch? Pretty good, huh? I'd say that's a majority there. How many of you used a card to make a payment? Similar number. How many of you used cash? Oh, it's kind of embarrassing turn up, isn't it? Some of you are probably thinking, what is cash? I don't know. Maybe the people who live in Germany in the room can explain to you afterwards, because cash is king there still, unfortunately. So nothing against Germans. Why do I ask about mobile payments? Well, 10 years ago, before fintech fever reached Luxembourg, the founders of Finologee built and launched a digital payment system called DigiCash. Now, this pioneering platform was acquired in 2017 by the Belgian company Payconic, and a survey that was conducted last year found that Payconic is now the most widely used digital payment platform in Luxembourg. So it's a massive, massive success. Now, the original DigiCash team then launched Finologee, and which is an award-winning Swiss Army knife for the digital financial industry. It provides tools and platforms to improve the customer experience. Today, Finologee employs 40 people from 13 different nationalities, and you're going to be seeing them on the screen behind our speakers during the course of this presentation. So, our first speaker, I'm going to get a bit closer to you guys. Our first speaker, it feels a long way away, doesn't it? Our first speaker joined Finologee in April this year. He's a recent graduate. He has a degree in engineering and a master's in management. Prior to joining Finologee, he spent a brief time with EY. Edgar. So we all want to know, what are the advantages that you've noticed working at Finologee? What is it that makes it such a great place to work?
Thank you, Jess. So yeah, I'm a fresh graduate, as you mentioned. Fun fact, the graduation ceremony has been delayed due to COVID, so it's going to occur in few weeks. So yeah, very fresh for me. I'm still in new shoes, guys. So the first thing I would mention is you're not just a member at Finologee. I really have responsibilities that I need to work on a daily basis, and that's really valuable to me. And just quick example, I'm providing Nadège with the monthly financial figures, and whatever is the insight I can provide her with would be interesting for her and for the management, for the company. And that's, for me, I feel like I'm adding value to the company and to the society overall, because I also feel like the products are valuable for the whole society. Furthermore, I can directly improve the processes internally, and that's something I couldn't feel that before, because it's a quick win. You spot something, you discuss that internally, everyone agreed that okay, it could be improved this way or this other way. I do it with other guys that are more knowledgeable on some other things, and we improve the processes. And for me, this is extremely important, because I have this entrepreneur mindset. And, well, this quick win really enhanced my vision of entrepreneurial mindset. And, well, I really feel like Finologee allows me to have this wish exhausted. The second point would be the fact that, okay, I'm a young manager, I know, and I'm not very experienced. That's a fact. But then I'm working with people who are more experienced than me. And I can leverage on the knowledge of these people, and that's extremely valuable to me. Another quick example would be, so there's a team, and I don't necessarily know how to set up objectives and weekly, let's say, meetings, and what would be the targets for the upcoming months, and so on. And for that, Nadège is helping me and explaining me how to structure that in such a way that everyone is happy in the team and things are going on in a smooth way. And I can extend that to all the departments of Finologee. And for me, this is extremely valuable, again, for my own experience. If I want to further, I don't know, develop a company or be an entrepreneur, then that's already valuable as a person. So yeah, that would be the 2 points for me.
Thank you very much, Edgar. So our second speaker is Head of Finance, Administration and Human Resources, and most importantly, she's Edgar's manager. She served as Head of Compliance at PwC, and then she joined an animation company in Luxembourg. She has a Master's in Management and Finance. Nadège, thanks for joining us today. So what we want to know from you is, how do the team mindset and individual personalities at Finologee, how do these differ from other less entrepreneurial companies you've worked in?
I would say at first that, okay, the company is around 40 person and split in 15 nationalities. So it's still family size, I would say, flat hierarchy. So it allows people to be in close contact with anyone in the team. What is different from the experience I have currently compared to what I had is really, I would say, regarding the team members, a perfect mix between knowing together where we want to go and being aligned on that, and have the flexibility to discuss about the how. So in a way, for me, it's also a mix of creativity, because you can share a lot of ideas around how we want to go to such objective, and it's also a regulated entity. So at some point, we know where we want to go, and we have maybe not constraint, but we need to find the right balance to respect a lot of compliance set of this kind of company. So a mix of procedure and creativity, and a mix of flexibility and I said yes, flexibility and linked to the creativity, obviously, and objective that we have together. It's, yeah, it would be the most different thing I've seen during my career.
That's great. Thank you, Nadège, for summarising those. So our last guest joined Finologee almost a year ago to become Senior Manager Marketing and Bank Engagement. She studied a Bachelor's in Science and then a Master's in European Public Affairs. Since then, she's had a glittering career in corporate communications and public affairs. Viktoria, thanks for being here today. I've just forgotten the card with the question on it. So we said already that Finologee is a young scale-up and that its founders are very deeply embedded entrepreneurs. Can you explain, what does this entrepreneurial spirit look like in practice for you every day in the workplace?
Yes, so thank you, Jess, first of all. So how would I describe the entrepreneurial spirit at Finologee in practice? So I think, first of all, it would be that I have the feeling that all of us, so all my colleagues and the whole team, is kind of taking real ownership of their jobs and roles. So they're really responsible for their task, and they're not just simply executing what they're told, but really asking also a lot of questions. So what I observe a lot is that when there is a task, that people would ask a lot of questions and really look at it from far, from a distance, and say, is there maybe a way to do it better, to do it more efficient, instead of just doing it the way it has always been done? Because that's also something that I have experienced in my past career, that people would just look at a task and say, well, it's a bit annoying, I know it's not ideal, but we're just gonna go for it because, I mean, that's the procedure. So that's really not how we do it at Finologee. So, for example, just yesterday, Edgar knocked at my door, and there was like a certain process that is that we're having at the moment at Finologee, and it's kind of annoying, but it's there. So we said, okay, let's sit together next week, half an hour, and just change it for the better. So we're not annoyed by it anymore, but yeah, more happy about the fact. So that's really cool. So everyone just has the opportunity to change something and to take ownership, real ownership of the role. Yeah, the second point would maybe be that everyone is very passionate about what they're doing. So I have the feeling that everyone is a true expert in their field. Everyone wants to bring the company forward and also to celebrate certain milestones together. So this week, for example, we had the demo presentation of one of our colleagues. He just showed us the new version of our payment tool that was released, and just showed us the new features, and it was just really nice to look at it and see that certain things are like developing, that there are new features, and that's something that we achieve together as a team, and that's also something that we then can celebrate together as a team, and that kind of pushes your motivation on a daily basis. And then maybe to mention a last point is also that you have all the possibilities at Finologee. It's depending on your skill set, on your talents and motivation, obviously. But then at the end of the day, you're creating your own flow. And yeah, you can pitch your ideas, you can change topics and processes, as I just mentioned. And yeah, it's really fun. It's not just following something that it's like written on paper and then you're just ticking the boxes. And that's how we're always done. But yeah, as I said, you have the possibility to really change something.
That's amazing. Thank you for those concrete examples as well, Viktoria. Okay, our last question for this panel is going back to Nadège, who is the person who maybe one day will interview some of the people in this room. So Nadège, it sounds like you're you're leading a team of ambitious dreamers. Would you say that's true? And how did you achieve that? I mean, how do you nurture this culture?
I would say that before nurturing, everything starts during the first interview. We are looking for specific profiles, not so much about the skills. Obviously, people need to be skilled, otherwise they will not be part of the recruitment process. But this is, let's say, basic starting point. Then we are looking for attitude. So curiosity is an important point for us, which has been mentioned a lot, I think, today during the different panel. Curiosity, a can-do mindset, I would say. So thinking about solution before thinking about excuse for not doing the job, I would say. And maybe the most important for me is questioning the existing. So that's a bit what you said. So processes are existing, but there are always ways for improvement. And we have the place at Finologee to discuss any kind of improvement possible you may have in mind. And that's what is interesting, because it's creates a lot of discussion within the teams, and we find, let's say, what we call for the moment the best solution, and we go for it. So it starts with that, this kind of mindset during the interview. And how do we nurture that? Let's say we help people to develop themselves, because I think it's very important for each of us. So there are many ways of developing ourselves. It starts by the flat hierarchy and the contact with more experienced people. It's also closely related to your own curiosity about the topics you are dealing with. Let's say that it's also related to the flexible way we are working. You want a specific training? We don't have a full training plan available and we will push you to do that. No, you come with what you want to do. We see how we can put that in place. I have an example of, let's say, a couple of weeks ago, an IT risk manager wanted to increase his knowledge about a certain kind of, let's say, obtain a certain type of certificate. Don't need to go into deeper details, but she make the analysis. She come to me, say, okay, I would like to follow that, and we discuss the possibility to put that in place, and that's it. She she will be able to follow the courses and get the certificate, with a little effort from her side, because obviously she will have to follow the courses and so on. So this is about training. Career growth also is important for each of us. We cannot obviously promise you certain things in 5 years or very fixing. So again, it's about, everything is about flexibility, and what you said, Viktoria, it's creating your own flow. So you have the possibility in such company to create part of your job and to support the development of the company. That's what I think is also very valuable. And on top of that, we had a lot of events with the team, because we want to share more than just work. So we organized after work, different type of parties depending on period of the year, and so fun part is also important for us to, at some point, release the pressure, having fun together, learning to know your colleague with other aspects than only job-related. So let's say that we have a good mix of effort, can-do mindset, and fun together.
A lot.
Perfect. Well, it's good to hear you guys are having fun. We've got a couple of minutes, so we have time for one question from the audience. If anyone wants to ask anything, please raise your hand and I'll bring you a mic. Don't all jump at once. We'll have a think about it. Well, let's wrap up this chat, because I know there's one more to go, I think, after us. Is that right? In any case, we'll wrap it up. So to summarize, not just a number, creating your own flow, family-sized company, flexibility on reaching your goals, responsibility, flat hierarchy. These are just some of the benefits of working with visionary founders, visionary entrepreneurs at Finologee. If you guys are curious, and if you're interested in sharing your skills with a team of ambitious dreamers to make change, then please approach our 3 speakers after the panel, or you can find them on Finologee's LinkedIn page. Thank you very much.
Thank you.